Hello everybody, this is our video number 1 and from this video we will start a new chapter, and this chapter is totally based on a main concept, that is the human lifespan. Each and every human beings have a specific lifespan, and the lifespan of a human being are divided into the 4 stages with respect to their growth. These 4 are the various stages of a human being. The first one is infancy, and the limitations or the period of this age is the birth to 2 years. Okay, the second one is the childhood. The period of this stage is 2 to 10 years. After that, the adolescence. The adolescence is 10 to 18 years. And the last one is the adulthood, the 18 to above. So, any human lifespan can be divided in these 4 parts or the 4 stages, and which is totally depend on the growth of a human being. And today we will discuss only the brief introductions of this stage, that is the adolescence. So the topic name of this new chapter is the reaching the age of the adolescence. Okay? So during the adolescence, the body undergoes and the changes leading to the reproductive maturity. So during the adolescence, the body undergoes the changes leading to the reproductive maturity. And around this time, the children are also called the teenagers. So in between all the human beings or the children have a specific name, that is called the teenager, because it is if you consider the period that means the 10 to 18, that means if you ignore the 10, 11 and 12, after the 13 to 18 or 19, all are belongs to the 10. But that means in this age, each and every child or each and every human being is called a specific name, that is called the teenager. Since this period covers the teen, that means, and during this period is visible the physical differentiation in boys and the girls. So what is the reason why this stage is very important for each and every human being? Because in this stage, for this stage, a human being can be classified as specific males and the females. Okay? And puberty, and this word, the puberty is related to the adolescence, and the puberty is the time when a child's body starts turning into an adult body and attain the sexual maturity. So what is the definitions of the puberty? So this word puberty is very important as per the respect of this adolescence. So this puberty is very important. So what is the definition of the puberty? Puberty is time when a child body starts turning into the adult body and attain the sexual maturity. When the adolescent reaches the reproductive maturity, the puberty ends. So when the adolescent reaches the reproductive maturity, then this puberty process is ended. So next we will discuss the changes during the puberty, and these are the changes in between this puberty process. The first one, the increase the height. So what is the meaning? The changes in height of a person is the most noticeable change during the puberty, and there is a sudden increase in height due to the elongation of the long bones of the legs and arms. And there is in your book a table is given, and this table is contains the two columns. One is the age in terms of the years, and another one column is the percentage of the maximum height, and this maximum height is also divided into the two sub columns, one for the boys and one for the girls. And if you consider these tables have some data with respect to the specific age. That means the data means the height, the specific height at the specific age for the boys and the girls. And if you consider this table, it is clear that initially the girls grow the faster than the boys, but both the girls and the boys reach their maximum height by about the age of 18 years. The rate of the growth is different in the different individuals, and the two factors are determine the heights of the boys and the girls. The first one, the gene they inherit from their parents, and the kind of food they are eating during this period. So it is this two factor is very important in this stage for the growing of heights of boys and girls. The first one, the gene which are inherit, they are inherit from their parents, and the second one is the proper nutrition or the proper food. Okay. Next one, the change in the body shape. The other change that occur during the puberty is the change in the body shape, and the growth of the muscle in boys is more prominent than in girls. The shoulder of the boy become the broad and the chest become wide. On the other hand, the girls, the region below the waist become wider, and the hip the broaden, and the breast develop and increase in size. So in this time, the next change of the human or girls and boys body, that is the body shape. They change the body shape. Okay. The third one, change is the boys. A considerable change in the boys occurred during the puberty. So the boys' box or the larynx begins to grow in both sexes, and this growth is more prominent in boys, causing the male voice of the crack and the dipple. Okay. The growing boy's box, the part can be seen as the protruding in boys in the throat region. So this line is very important because the growing voice of the boys is the protruding in the throat regions, and it is called the Adam apples. So remember this one, the Adam's apple. The voice box is hardly visible in God, and as it is of the small size, and the voice in girls become the high pitch and or silk. Okay. So these type of changes are around in case of the voice of the both male and the females, or boys and the girls. Increase in activity of the sweat and oil. Sebaceous gland. So increase the activity of the sweat and the earth, the sebaceous glands. You may have observed the pimples and acne on the face of some of your friends. So in this period you also see some of the pimples and the acne from your friend's face between the 11 to 18. And the pimples appear rapidly during this age. And the sweat and the oil glands become very active during this puberty, and especially on the face. And this leads to the appearance of the pimples and the acne on the face. Okay, so what is the reason? This time the face are located, each and every girls or the boys in between this age, that means 11 to 18, are face some pimples and the acne from this in their face. Because of that, this time the sweat and the oil glands are very activated in this time as for the result for this puberty process. So the next one is the development of the sex organ. The sex organ develop the fully during this puberty, and in boys the testes and the penis develop completely, and for the girls the ovaries enlarge and start releasing eggs for every month, and this lead to is onset of the menstruation cycle. So remember this word. Menstruation. So remember this one, the menstruation is very important. Okay? Next changes the reaching the maturity, and this maturity is located mentally, intellectually and emotionally. So on the reaching the age of the adolescence, there are considerable changes in the way of the thinking, and intellectual development takes place. And adolescents become the more self-conscious and independent, and they start thinking for themselves. And it is also time when the adolescents start the feeling insecure while adjusting to changes in the body and the mind. Third point, it is also the very common is the adolescent to develop and the attraction toward the opposite sex, and the adolescents are often confused, insecure and experience mood swing due to the psychological changes. So these 4 points is very important, and these 4 are located as per this process during the process of the puberty, and these are the changes. They are mentally, intellectually and the emotionally changes. Okay, and the adolescent should learn to cope with these changes, as they are a natural part of growing up, and they should take the guidance and help from the parents and the teachers. That's all for the today's lectures. Thank you everybody.